So, Anbennar, huh? I'm told this is good. I'm going to play a Anbennar campaign. I'm going to do it edited, the way I've been doing some Victoria campaigns recently. I'm just looking around the world. I think I'm going to play as Wex. Maybe just to annoy Anbennar heads. I don't know if there's a mass noun. I should call it Vex. Maybe I'm going to choose that this is pronounced V in the German style. I don't have anything against Anbennar heads, honestly. Anbennarians sounds kind of good. So I've played this mod long time ago. I last played it in about 2017, 2018. I was testing it while contracted with Paradox, so they could to tell them if it was good enough to play for the Dev Clash, which I think they did, but not for like ages later or something. I said it was, by the way, so you're welcome. But yeah, I know there's magic systems. Ooh, I can click on the primary race. Primary race is humans. And are they a race? I'm always confused. This is very early in the video to be getting into this, but I'm always confused by the use of race in the fantasy context. Because if the humans can interbreed with orcs, then they're races. If they can't, then they're species. Surely, right? Anyway. What was I talking about? Right, we're playing a game. So I'm going to play as Vex because they are the Emperor of the HRE, which has a different name, which I don't know yet, but we'll find out. And I think it will be fun to play as them because Austria is the game that I have probably enjoyed playing the most in EU4. I think I'm one of the strange people that's played EU4 a lot, that has had my most fun playing as like Austria and the Ottomans and stuff, rather than tiny people. I mean, I've had some good games as smaller people as well. Anyway, enough waffling. This is going to be, yes, so an edited series in that I am going to pause recording while I look around at stuff. It's not designed to be a tutorial series, but I will be talking about features as I come to understand them, which might be helpful for you. If you haven't tried out Anbennar yet, now is a good time to do it. Because, I don't know, they probably just updated it. Because I'm playing it. You don't need a more reason than that. Look at this new world. I'm immediately enamored by this new world. Was there like a magical explosion here from an ancient kingdom or something? I feel like that's got to be the story of this ring, right? That there was a long ago, there was a magical kingdom that was like in sky fortresses here, and then they tried to put the crown on an elder brain or whatever. If you haven't heard of Anbennar at all, it's as I understand. Okay, again, neither have I, but here's my introduction. It's D&D, kind of. Like there are kobolds and elves and dwarves and all that stuff. I think it's its own lore. It's not the Forgotten Realms, but it's like somewhat kind of high-ish fantasy. I don't know if there are dragons, but yeah. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's click on this. So what's the empire, by the way? Oh, it's Anbennar. Okay, or yeah. So with the Grand Duke, very Austria. You know, makes sense. Anbennar is the name of the kingdom. Okay, so just so you can understand the level of knowledge I'm coming from here. Let's load into the game. Definitely not in Iron Man mode so that I can potentially test features. I'm not going to be reloading just because something went wrong, but I may, you know, create saves so I can test out how things work. I don't know how much has changed. I've never seen a Let's Play of Anbennar. I've never consumed like any content around it. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to summarize it in a way that will annoy you if you know the lore. Okay, so we come from the north. There was something called the Dragon Wake, which I like to think was a dragon swimming through the ocean and causing big waves. I'm sure it wasn't. We had to fight our way south. Oh, I can move. That's funny. I can't middle click drag the map, but I can edge pan. Yeah, we came from the north during the Dragon Wake, fought our way south, carved out space for ourselves down here in what was once the Damarian Republic. And now we rule the Empire of Anbennar. And our current king betrayed the previous king's heir with the help of Laurent across the sea, who is the ancient rival of Anbennar, but current ally because they helped us depose the previous ruling line. So now we're in charge. Cool. The hostile Moon Party is not with us. So we won the Lilac Wars. The Lilac Wars ended a year ago, and we were victorious. We fought under the banner of the Rose Defending the sovereign right of the Laurentish throne. We fought to maintain balance in Canor. Okay, don't know where that is. And prevent the old decadent house of Silmuna from dominating the land. Isn't it funny how the people you've deposed are always decadent? So we get 20 plus opinion bonus with fellow Rose Party members, minus 40 with Moon Party. So that's like, it's kind of Wards of Religion-esque. This is France. This is my mental model that I'm slowly building here. So the Fires of Conviction update. We can disable regions to improve performance, and we can enable and disable Great Conquerors. I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to change anything here. Maybe the game will run terribly, in which case, that's fine. We'll restart. But yeah, so there's all kinds of different things. So government reforms. Oh, these look fairly familiar. Some of these are new. Unless they were added by mods. Sorry, by DLC I haven't used. Whoa. Military doctrine. There's a lot of them, and many of them are based on, yeah, different species and races and stuff. It's funny how much of this is the same when everything else is so different. It's kind of disconcerting. Like, what's Machiavelli doing in D&D or in Anbennar, whatever. But anyway, it's interesting. We'll play around with that. Okay, so diplomatically speaking, we have an Imperial bodyguard. What the heck is that? Imperial bodyguard. Does it not define subjects when you hover over them? Is Zed still back in this game? I've been playing too much Victoria 3. Anyway, so Lauren, do you actually like us? They do. We have a royal marriage, accepted religion. Oh yeah, religion. So Regent Court. Okay. Can I have some flavor on the Regent Court? Also known as the Canorian. Oh, Canor is like this region. Okay. I could probably know that from regions, right? Subcontinents? Western Canor. Okay. This whole thing is Canor. And we came from up here, I think. Are you dragons? We were driven south by dragons. You're mountain watchers. How do I know the species? Or, you know, whatever. East Dalar. Isn't there a province modifier that shows you the species? There we go. We have a large halfling minority here. Interesting. What's this? A small Escanti refuge center. Sorry, refugee center. Displaced by the Green Tide? Fantastic. Who's the Green Tide? I mean, the Green Tide is obviously the orcs and stuff. Okay. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm getting to grips with things at a slow pace. I think I'm going to just do some more of it on camera while because I was thinking maybe I should just pause and then, where's my Imperial map mode? Have I not got the Imperial map mode up? Oh, it'll be in here, won't it? Yeah. Okay, so the Empire is historically this. Okay, we've got Revoke the Ancient Oath. Okay, Ordo Alessia is a storied order with the Ancient Oath, but of recent note their intentions have been questioned by the Imperial Court. We can revoke them, banish them as our bodyguards. Ah, so that's these guys. So I lose 10 Imperial authority, I lose supporting them, and they stop being our vassal. Okay, so they have an Ancient Oath to support us, and it's costing us to support them. We have to give up 10% of our national manpower modifier and 10 force limit. Ooh, an unlawful Imperial territory is tanking. Ah, because we haven't called us stuff. Okay. What is this? Racial menus. Tolerance and military. Can't open them yet, probably because I haven't unpaused. Interesting. There's centaurs, dwarves, elves, gnolls, gnomes, goblins, half... Okay, so elves and orcs confirmed interbreedable. Hobgoblin, harpy, kobold, lizard folk, mechinum. Dope. I assume they're like robots. Orcs, orcish, ruinborn, and trolls. No dragons that I can see yet. And there's a racial military as well. We can still strengthen it. We're still a Grand Duchy. Ooh, the estate's logo is different. We have the Adventurers and the Magisters. Mages can cast spells for the country, but it requires at least 15 influence. The higher the influence, the stronger their spells. They are organized into a magisterium. Excellent. We will look into... I'll look into what kind of privileges we want to hand out. Is this one of those mods that unlocks absolutism straight away? No. And we are in the Age of Monsters. Orcs pour from the Serpent Spine, which I think is these mountains? Or maybe they're further east? I think they're these mountains. Hobgoblins march into Harless. Not Harless. Harless. No idea where that is. Did I spell it right? I didn't. Harless. Centaurs assail the Lake Republics. Is this a lake? It doesn't look like a lake. We're finding our way. Gnolls threaten to overrun Bulwar. Bulwar. Hey, I know where that is. Bulwar is this and Sorrow. Presumably Sorrow is nearby. Lower Sorrow and Upper Sorrow. Oh, over here. Okay, so what's coming into there? Gnolls threatening these regions. I need to get... is there like a new map mode for species? And I feel like I need to get a grasp on which species are where. Okay. Only the rise of unified nation states. I'm crying because I'm so amused by my ignorance of this new mod. Only rise of unified nation states can avert this monstrous tide. I know there's a bunch of submods, by the way. I am not using any apart from one extra music one, which I think might be why it's just playing the same music over and over, so I might have to get rid of that one. I just want to experience, you know, normal Anbennar while I'm getting used to it. Is my face best in the bottom left, by the way? I think it probably is. Alright, so are these the same as ever? These look very similar. Yes, these all look the same. And then they have got culture-specific unique ones per age. I still don't agree with the design philosophy of having age bonuses that are unique, because just seeing a button that you can't click, you can't even work towards clicking, it's just not good. Anyway, so if we discover Alantir, which is the new thing over there. Harlas is being defined as like a region here. So there's Bulwar down here. No, hang on. We need this one, don't we? There's Bulwar here. Canor here. And then Harlas must be... It's over here. Okay. Own 5 provinces in Castanor, where the culture group is not Orcish or Goblin. In the Cursewood, Whistlevale, or West, South, or Inner Castanor. Okay. Castanor is... Where's Castanor? Yeah, I'm control F-ing those regions. We don't appear to be able to see any of them yet. So I guess the green tide is... I think it's coming from the mountains here, because I think that's where the dwarves are. So I assume the dwarves have lost, more or less, is the lore, and hence the goblins are spewing forth. Very Darkspawn-esque. So I assume that's land here. Sense of trade, embrace... So it's still called the red... It's just... I don't know. I've just started playing them on. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just expressing my initial reactions. Isn't it weird that it's called the Renaissance? Shouldn't it be, I don't know, something fantasy sounding? I guess the idea is this is what if a fantasy world went through the same kind of cultural and technological developments that ours did, so it would still be a Renaissance. But anyway, 3 unions, prominent overlord, number of subjects at least 5. And humiliate a rival through a peace treaty. It's interesting they've coded that as number of subjects at least 5 as opposed to 5 subjects. And then there'll be 0 out of 5 for us right now. Oh, sorry, yeah, because right now it should be 1 out of 5 because we have 1 subject. But maybe that's harder. I feel like I've coded that, so it can't be that difficult. What are the other ages? The ages of unraveling. The rediscovery, I told you it was an ancient empire, of Alantir comes the secrets of the precursor elves. So there's no elves over here. Or maybe there are, but there's precursor elves over there. That's a cool idea. From east to west, scholars seek to unravel the mysteries of the past. Age of exploration and reformation. Age of the Witch Kings. The end of the Green Tide heralds a new era forged by war, clouded by cults of personality. But what happens when magic goes unchecked? What will happen in a land where the rules of the old society no longer matter? Is the old society, to both caps, someone that kind of governs magic? Not sure. And then Age of Artificers. Precursor discoveries paired with gnomish ingenuity have forged a future where magic is servile and tamed. Powers of the old magical class become widely available, sparking the Enlightenment and rise the common folk. Dope. So these... A major discovery in Alantir has been made. So I'm pretty sure that's whatever's at the bottom of that big pit. I like discovering this mod this way. Maybe I won't make this an edited series. Maybe I'll just actually do episodes. I wasn't thinking about doing that because I was enjoying watching something else. Maybe this is not an edited series. I'm not sure. That would be kind of fun. Well, let's just see how long I go here. So these guys have high limited desire because we have negative prestige. Memory of Aden Skylance. Excuse me? What does that mean? Oh, is he the previous emperor? No, that's not his surname. Okay, so we're 43, Emperor Lothane III of Wex. So who was the previous... Was the previous ruler the ruler of Vex and the Empire? Or was it like one of these other kingdoms that got kicked out? Or duchies or whatever they are. I'm not sure. Anyway, we are a conqueror. We get minus 5 years of separatism. We are a powerful mage, which means we can recruit female generals. What? Why does that follow? Anyway, we get yearly absolutism, average model lifespan up 25, reasons to elect plus 25, and Magister's loyalty equilibrium up. Nice. Powerful mage, natural way with the ways of the arcane, far greater than any normal mortal, allows them to learn powers that even by themselves can shake the foundations of the world. Dope. And we are a scholar. Because we're a powerful mage, will our kids be powerful mages? Or is this like something that just pops up every now and again? And we're going to spend the whole game crossing our fingers for another powerful mage. Not sure. Okay, that's the court. Advisors. Pretty similar to... I know this music. This is Wild Hunt music. I think I'm going to turn off this music pack in case some of it is DMCA problematic. Okay, turn that off. What was I looking at? Advisors seem the same. There's still, you know, culture and religion on advisors. I want to click on this. I guess maybe this is just meant to be able to hover over it. So we tolerate humans and we impress everyone else. And I can't click this, it seems like. Having a human administration gives us 2.5% lower power cost and 25% culture conversion cost, which I guess represents the fact that humans in fantasy tend to breed a lot. And we have human military because there's 5% morale of armies and navies. Okay, okay. And we have all of these in us? Or, I guess, are they in... I've forgotten where I put all my map modes. Is it this one? Yeah. So this is the Wexand region. Okay. And then there's East Dametian. The ones, sorry, Damarian, that we have just conquered a bunch of land off. Maybe this is where the old king lived. Over in Eargate or something. It's only 13 development, though. Wouldn't make much sense. Ooh, cool. Oh, that looks fun. Nice purple roofs. This guy looks pretty cool, too. This is... During the Dragon's Wake, 3 tribes fled pell-mell into the eastern Dameshead. Okay. They turned to fight before the noose closed completely. They armed every man, woman, and child. Cool. Afterwards, they offered vassalage, but refused the tribesmen's sanctuary. They played along. Scouts found an entrance. Warriors delved below. God, this is long. Okay. So we get the bonuses if we are Wex or we accept Wexond. Cool. And what are the bonuses it gives us? Right now, it's insignificant. If we improve it, we get local defensiveness and spy action cost modifier. That's kind of interesting. So you could, you know, fabricate claims a bit quicker and stuff. Then you get 5% aggressive expansion impact, 10% aggressive expansion impact. I'm kind of excited to be playing EU4 vanilla again. Stacking modifiers, man. It's fun. And when I by vanilla, I mean relative to my own taxes, obviously. So we can kick them out, which I kind of want to do because, well, 10% map is not terrible, is it? How is our force limit? Gotta start remembering some shortcuts. We're not going to pay to have 42 units. So that loss of manpower and force limit, really not that bad. So we're not going to do that. Make the Emperor a war wizard. Why not? That seems, as a ruler general, general stats of our ruler general will be greatly influenced by the military stats, which is 6, which I assume is as high as it can get, but I guess I could be wrong. And then we have a ruler magic menu, okay, because maybe one of these has to be true, maybe all of them do, but we are renowned in abjuration and evocation, talented in conjuration enchantment. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at this. Cool. It's amazing what they've managed to do with UI modding in a U4. Honestly, I'm very impressed. I feel oh, that's interesting. I'm also immediately feeling like this mod's going to be really good in E5. Based on the coloration here, I think proficient is better than talented. So proficient in everything, and then talented in conjuration enchantment, renowned in abjuration and evocation. So let's take a look at what are some abjuration spells we can do. Oh, we have XP. That's cool. We can get local defensiveness 100% from a defensive ward. We have to have at least legendary mastery to get realm magic field of freedom. These are really cool. This is a good mod. I'm glad, so might be controversial. I'm glad I waited so long to play it though, because I feel like if this stuff was half-assed, it would be much less fun. Whereas as it is, I think this seems very cool. Also, is this the research? There's the invention menu, the research menu. This is so cool. So if we were legendary skill, we could do the field of fortification, forbiddance, and fortification. Sorry, freedom, forbiddance, and fortification. Monthly devastation down. 5 attrition for enemies. That seems really good. And what is this? Every province with a land connection to the capital. Oh, that's cool. So we're casting it from, you know, our big wizard's tower in the capital. It's spreading out across our lands. Dope. Whereas this one is just, yeah, a selected province. And it's Ward 2, I assume, because we're not just proficient or talented, we're renowned. So it's Ward 2 rather than maybe can't cast anything. So we can also study it. See what this does. We get 2,000 magical study experience. We can spend some... Oh, they're not ducats. They're crowns. And we get... Until the death of our ruler. Okay, not actually. Because it's just until you stop doing it, I guess. Interesting. -1 Diplo rep, minus the legitimacy. Legitimacy is already tanking because of all of our unlawful imperial territory. And you lose chance of a new heir and you lose 1 Diplo relation. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to do that right away, but that's something that we may well look into. Let's take a look at... I'm going to take a look at all these spells. So Conjuration, which we're talented in. There you go. I think that goes towards confirming my theory. This is level 1, because we're 1 level above proficient. Could we do this if we didn't have this trait? Or is this just going to help us do it more? I don't know. Magnificent Feast. 50 instant opinion. Nice. And an elemental summoning. We can get an elemental besieger. That's really cool. And then if you were higher level, we could have a magical fortress. Starts the construction of a magical fortress at a selected province for 0% of the cost. What is a magical fortress? This is a castle. Is a magical fortress like one of these levels? Is it just a fortress? If you can summon a star fort that's free, that would be pretty fun. That would be pretty cool. Why is the ruler magic menu a decision rather than a button like this up here? I just can't help myself, can I? Divination. Scrying our neighbors. Neighboring countries will have fog of war lifted. That's cool, but people don't like it because they can tell. Diplo rep down. Improve relations up though, because you know what they want. Law Seeker, increased magical experience by 25. Have we got like mana, by the way? How can I... What's to stop me just casting loads of these spells all at once? We should probably... Oh, magical infamy. Infamous mages will be considered witch kings. You what? That seems cool. Okay. Enchantment spells. Charm the estates. How long does it last? 10 years? That's cool. Improve relations. Morale of armies. Liberty desire in subjects. Not very long though. 5 years? That's not very long. But if we were better at it, I assume it would last longer. No, it's just more powerful. Okay. 6% loyalty equilibrium across all the estates is pretty good. Dominate to surrender. Minus 1,000 local defensiveness. If the spell succeeds. Ooh. So things could go wrong. Okay, and so the whole... Yeah, the minds of others, dominating creature and people. They are called enchanters. So I guess just using any spell gives you magical infamy, and they're afraid of using too much magic because the old kingdom fell because they used too much magic. Maybe? That would kind of make sense to me. Okay, what was that? What was that? Enchantment? Yeah, so let's look at evocation. Fireball, classic. If the spell succeeds, the besieged province will get blank. Okay, not sure what that does. Morale of armies, shock damage, and fire damage received for 5 years. Okay, cool. Earthquake, dope. And War Magic 3. Okay, well that obviously seems pretty useful. I'm just trying to decide which one to study. I feel like we should be studying something. But we haven't got much money right now. So maybe I'll spend a bit of admin on it. Okay, that was evocation. Illusion. Don't know what this does. Oh, you just get prestige from mill power. That seems really bad. But maybe prestige is more valuable in this mod, or harder to get. Diplo rep. Now that seems good. Only for 5 years though. Again, not that good. Prestige. Diplo rep. Magical project. Simulacrum. Is that how you pronounce that? Simulacrum? As in... It's like a facsimile, isn't it? Starts the relevant magical project. Events occur dealing with progress, which may result in a quicker or slower project. A simulacrum. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me. It's a near-accurate illusion of a certain individual or being bound to the will of the creator. It can act individually. It can imitate the subject. To such an extent, only close inspection can expose it. A perfect duplicate able to handle the monotonous affairs of ruling, allowing you to study magics undeterred. Interesting. So maybe if you had one of these, you'd be able to, you know, study magic without the side effects. Nice. God, there's more of these. Necromancy and transmutation. Necromancy. The life force. What? Okay, we gotta be a necromancer. That's so good. The life force of an heir, consort, advocate, or city can be traded in exchange for mana points. Hell yes. Undead army. You get 5 medieval infantries, and your magical infamy will increase by a massive amount. Human army removed. You instead get army of the dead. Hell yeah. That seems awesome. Lichdom. We can become a lich. A dark and unholy power. Only the most power-hungry spellcasters take, not for the love of magical craft, but for the chance to live forever. If successful, a dark supplicant can become a lich, an immortal undead spellcaster that retains intelligence and personality, with the opportunity, the skill, and all the time in the world to master all forms of magic. As a necromantic kingdom, we'll put all of our focus on magic, and artificery will be forbidden. Interesting. So you have to make a choice between, becoming a proper, full-on magic kingdom or going towards gnomish science. Interesting. Well, we're probably not going to do that straight away. And finally, transmutation. Surely I can make gold at the top level. I'm scrolling all the way down. Shape change into dragon. You fucking what? Oh, this mod is cool. Presumably it's temporary. What's better than a giant? A dragon. So true. Long has man dreamt of mastering the skies. Now the ruler can make it a reality. So you get 30% chance it gets minus 1,000 defensiveness, and 70% chance it gets. That's like they just defend. They just decide not to defend against you, and a 70% chance. It doesn't last very long. Just for like 2 weeks or something. well, obviously a minus 1,000 defensiveness. That would mean the siege fell. The city fell, almost certainly. I'm sorry, I'm actually kind of crying at how crazy some of the stuff in this mod is, which seems like over dramatic, but still, it's true. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Magical Project Homunculus. What's the difference between that and a simulacrum? I'm going to look it up. Simulacrum? Simulacrum, according to... Simulacrum, according to Oxford Dictionary. Anyway, homunculus, plural homunculi, the ultimate construct, an artificial being brought to life by pure alchemy alone. Perfect homunculi more often than not take the idealized form of the creator's race, and while they have a telepathic bond, undying loyalty, they are, unless the creator proves otherwise, they are fully sentient and independent beings. Homunculi do not reproduce nor age, but if well maintained, can be preserved indefinitely. And why would we want to do that? Medium amount of magical infamy. I'm not sure what that would achieve, but I like the idea. Oh, sorry, I didn't check out the other spells here. So plant growth, which just gives good produce, unrest, all that good stuff. Enhance ability, attempt to raise one of the skills of your ruler by 1. Rite of conception. Combining that with necromancy seems fun. Okay. A series of magical spells and concessions. Hello, buddy. Increases the chance of having a magically gifted child. The most notorious part is during the bedding ritual itself, which generally involves an ornate magical circle drawn beneath the bed of consummation, as well as a mage in the room during the act. Okay. There's a rite of conception 1. Is there a rite of conception 2? Oh yeah, shape change into dragon. Sorry, a giant. Legendary plant growth. Greater chance of success. So, presumably I can only do this if I don't have a kid already. 25% chance a noble becomes heir. 5% chance you just die. That's not great. 10% chance your wife nopes out of the situation. Fair enough. A 20% chance you get an heir with that and a 5% chance you die just seems like a really bad deal. 1 out of 5 times if you kept doing it repeatedly. As long as I'm doing my maths right, which I think I am, you would die without creating an heir. Well, maybe he'll just get it naturally. Maybe we'll just get lucky. It looks like I can do this, though, even though I have an heir. Presumably I can also disinherit, let them age. What's the average lifespan of a ruler? Is there a death chance shown here? I don't think so, right? You still have to guess that it's the same as an advisor. Can't you see death chances? Maybe you have to hire the advisor. Or is that a mod thing? Anyway, transmutation seems like the best to start with, I think, for kind of simple stuff, because enhancing abilities and getting more heirs seems good. So I'm going to study this with effort. So okay, yeah. I don't get 1,000 XP. I can get 1,000 XP. Interesting. My mastery is proficient. So there's 1,000 XP we need to get. Is that how that works? Or is it that because in the other one I'm better than proficient, I'm renowned, it takes more experience to level up? But let's have a go at that. And then let's cast a spell, because why not, right? What are we good at? Evocation and Abjuration. Well, Abjuration, I think, is probably more... Well, Abjuration is only really useful at war. So Evocation, again, also kind of only useful at war. Let's do a little magnificent feast. I don't think we really need to. Let's look at the diplomatic situation and then do a magical feast to improve our relations to someone. So, there's the Stewardship of the Sorrow. Okay, who is this? You are China down there, okay? And China is also, obviously, Egypt, based on just, you know, the design of this, and Nirat, and this cat. Okay, they have a bunch of reforms. They have to own certain places for it. Decrees of plenty, prosperity, knowledge, salvation. Cool. They have what, and they're called Strappies. Yes, this is definitely... I mean, and if they're called Strappies, it's kind of Ptolemaic Egypt, but Cat's more kind of earlier, right? Not Ptolemaic, sorry, Ptolemaic. Interesting. Interesting. What are the bonuses from our religion, by the way? Stability cost modifier and tolerance of heathens. Tolerance of heathens does not seem useful. Although, I guess maybe there's going to be a reformation when the Age of Unraveling kicks in. Okay, what else do I need to look at? We can summon a diet. Yeah, sure. Why not? What do you want me to do? This could be useful for deciding how we actually start doing something here. They want the Magisterium opinion of Vex to be 100. What the heck is the Magisterium? Are they one of the electors? Yes. They are, presumably the Magisterium are like the mage dude. A theocracy derived from divine power. Okay. They get +1 points to all skill. What? That seems really good. So I guess this is like the Mages Guild. Have they got a special, any kind of modifier? Coexisting with elves. So there are elves in this continent. Okay. But there used to be an old elvish empire across the sea. I'm just going to keep saying things confidently as I learn. Fill up the manpower. I'll improve relations with them. Sure. They don't like me. I didn't realize. Accepted religion. They have a core. How the heck do you have a core on the West Shields? I guess this is historically they had like a wizard's tower here or something. Interesting. Whoa, what's this? Urban terrain? Cool. There's a terrain map mode, isn't there? Well, hang on. I wonder what that looks like in the actual, you know, full-on... Where even is the terrain map mode? You never use it. Ah, it just looks normal. That's a shame. But, I mean, no one uses it. Okay, so here are where the actual cities are. We're in a hilly spot, interestingly. There are actually cities. Are there any really big cities that I can see? No, there's no city that's made up of like 10 quarters or something. Maybe there are, you know, elsewhere in the world. Anyway, okay. Estate interactions are available. Cast spell. Right. We should probably get the Magisters a bit more power first. Could be interesting. I think I am going to do this as not an edited series, by the way. I think I'm just going to do a full Let's Play, maybe. It's cool. It's fun. So, we could get some yearly prestige, but less tax. Lose army tradition, but we get battle mage, and we get less army tradition in general. And less crown land. And less military power. But we get battle mage mercenaries and war wizard generals can now appear. Which I assume are just, like, bonkers. Reduced research regulations. Includes the chances of unregulated research during magical study. Okay, that seems cool, but I don't want to hurt my diplomatic reputation right now, because I haven't even looked at whether we're going to win the next election. Although, I mean, hopefully we're not dying anytime soon, but if we're going to get involved in all this magical stuff. Mage Organization Magisterium. So we already have this. More influential mages provide occasional benefits. Your relations with the Magisterium, if they exist, will affect the estate's loyalty. Okay, so we're allowing these guys to kind of organize our estate. And the loyalty right now appears to not be being affected by our relation with them, maybe because our relation with them is relatively neutral. Or so you can have either Magisterium, state, or guilds. Costs a lot to change. So you get occasional benefits on both of these. The difference is, in this case, you have to pay for it. So I guess you don't want to do it if you don't want them to be as influential. And it hurts your absolutism. And there's also guild, which is a middle ground. Ah, but doesn't cost any crown lands. Okay, interesting. Well, I don't really want to do any of these. But maybe I can give up 5% national tax. 5% is not a big modifier, is it? I want them to be more influential so we can cast cool spells. I'm a simple man. Casting the spells, how powerful do I have to be? 33 or higher. And having some prestige right out the gate could be nice. The unlawful imperial territory is kind of massacring it. Why can't I do this, by the way? I need at least 30 influence. Yeah, I don't feel like I can do... There aren't very many privileges, are there? Maybe there's more for other guilds or in other contexts. Like 1 out of 8, but there aren't even 8. Maybe there's monopolies that we could be giving them or something. Or maybe they've removed monopolies. I don't know. Sure, we'll patronize the magical arts. which does give us low crownland, which I should have thought about before I did it. Obviously. We'll need to deal with that. The adventurers, we have Land of Adventure in terms of organization. What are the other organizations for that? Chronicler grants, licensed adventurers. So more mercenary manpower, more national tax modifier, institution spread, innovativeness gain. Okay, okay. Interesting. What do we want to do? It hurts the nobles, less unrest, increases the chance of removing all adventurers wanted province modifiers. I guess if adventurers are wanted, it means the province doesn't have any adventurers, and therefore like monsters are running rampant or something. Heroes in the army, advisor costs for stability increase. That seems good. In the short term, it will make their, you know, their loyalty equilibrium higher. Yeah, that seems good. Let's do that. Stability increase. I don't find myself buying much stability. Maybe I should have bought stability before I did that, but... And the Regent Court helps countermand that. Designated exempt from seized land. Interesting. +2 advisors. And then the more land they have, the more this would do. It's a shame I can't see what it would do, because they currently have no, no land. And then we can sponsor specific monster hunters. Read privilege description. Which one? This is the privilege description. Increase the chance of removing certain adventurers wanted province modifiers. Read privilege description. I guess it means the top bit. Monster hunters. Investigations deal with the vampires and cultists. Beast hunters. Slaying beasts and large magic. Troll and wyverns. Do-gooders. These are all cool. I think we're okay with that for now. Guilds. Governing capacity. Presumably we're nowhere near governing capacity limit. Yeah, don't need to worry about that yet. Tempted to immediately fire some of the kind of land of commerce ones. How bad would Crownland be? I mean, do we just eat the negative Crownland penalties early to try and get the dip power? That's what I do in vanilla normally. Let's not worry about it too much. I am going to do that. Yeah, so it is even more harsh now. I need to get it above... What is it? Is it 20? What's the breakpoint? It's been so long since I played vanilla. So I could immediately seize titles as well. Yeah, I think I probably will do that. Give out some Crownland and then in the form of getting some Diplo points and things early. And then Diplo advisor cost down. Yeah, I do like these advisory boards, usually in vanilla. We're not giving events from seas. Indebted, no thanks. Free enterprise I tend to like to give out just because the high loyalty equilibrium is nice. City expansion privileges. 15% province governing cost in centers of trade. It's been so long since I played vanilla. Wow, there's tons of estates for this one. Promote guild merchants bookkeeping. Interesting. State maintenance, reduce inflation costs and interest per annum down. That's pretty nice. I need the loyalty higher than the base equilibrium, which we still do have. Monopoly charters. God, there's a lot to be doing here. Scaled with state influence. Merchant trade power. And provincial trade power up 25%. That's obviously 100% influence, but yeah, that seems good. Let's do that. Again, I'm trying to keep these... Yeah, so we're currently 1% higher base loyalty than influence. So we need to be careful. Any of these give loyalty and no influence? It's a bit of an ask, right? Yeah, let's not give them any more. Nobility. So right now, trending to the same loyalty and influence. So we need to be careful with, can't really give them primacy than ability. I tend to like this, just because the manpower feels more impactful than tax early on. So I think we will give increased levies and aristocratic councillors and rider council. Now we can give 8 rather than, isn't vanilla 6? I could be misremembering. I do like supremacy over the crown as well. Let's do it. Makes them all super influential and stuff, but just makes the equilibrium happy, which means we can seize land more often. Monopoly on mything, command the army. Definitely not. Maybe this would be good. Every owned fort gets more defensiveness, and every one with ramparts gets more defensiveness as well. Ooh. States and nobility. You get a 25% cheaper one every time you want to recruit a diplomat. Ah, that's interesting. Nobility right for diet call. Interesting. It could be useful on demand. Get automatically complete the estate agenda of the nobility. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how much of this is base game updates, by the way. I'm going to give them expand the fortifications. Can't get their influence much higher than that, though. So we'll probably leave it there. But now we have an equilibrium 5% higher than their influence. Maybe this is a truly horrendous idea, by the way. I don't know. But we're rolling with it. So they have 35 base influence, 49 base loyalty. That's a good gap to play with. So I will give them religious state, which has given us the whole, you know, plus 0.2 autonomy. But I feel like early on, it's the right play. I'll give them that. And that. I like having influential estates. It's just how I tend to play. Maybe it's a terrible idea. Or maybe I'm justifying something to you that is obviously a good idea. I'd rather not. I mean, we're at 5%. Would it really hurt to lose another 5? I like the... Oh, no, exempt from seized land. Sorry, you're not doing that. Religious culture. You get... In all provinces in your Regent Court faith, which is either in an Hellenic culture group or has accepted culture, gains religious society. 10% tax, 10% production, 10% manpower. Everywhere that is not gets heretic culture. Interesting. So what is the Alaric culture group? Alaric. Ah, okay. It's just Wexand. Oh, hang on. No, they're probably up north, aren't they? Yeah, where we were forced to flee during the dragon wake. This is where the dragon made his wake, by the way. Okay, so we're not going to do that because we want to be able to make, you know, strides within the empire. But we'll keep that in mind for future runs, potentially. Religious diplomats. If we can fit this into the happiness share, this seems like a no-brainer. Diplomat 1 and 10% same religion. Trending towards 61. Trending towards 55. And obviously this is after doing the diet. 55. So we can just fit this, which I think I will do. And then you can recruit different ones, different possible ones. You get inquisitors. Okay, interesting. Clerical education would be good as well. Reform, progress, growth is nice. Anything else I can make them happier with? Not really. This seems good though. Cult hunters, tolerance of true faith up, tolerance of heretics. There are no heretics, so yeah. Reduces the likelihood of infernal cult incidents. Devil worshippers. We're CK2. Nice. So now... Oh, I have actually made their influence slightly too high. Whoops. Never mind. Don't think there's anything else that will improve their joy more. Ah, yes. Development of temples will, but that's one that... Oh, it's from developing provinces. Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't develop provinces much. Maybe I will in this mod, and this will be a terrible idea, but let's give them development of temples. Because now we're at 74, trying to 76. Good. And we can always give them a monopoly on wool if we needed to get just a little bit more happiness. Okay, cool. So that's the estate set up, I think, how I want them. I don't think I need any of these other ones. So do we have a bunch of adventurers wanted modifiers? I assume we're going to get events that are going to start popping adventurers wanted. Ooh, an oppressed halfling minority. Gives us more unrest but less local development. Ah, there we go. There is a bandit king fortress. You what? Bandits in this country have united under a bandit king. captured a fortification. They openly threaten the authority of the province and state, act as would-be rulers. And there's also a halfling minority. Interesting. Any others? Can I see that on the map, on the trade map mode? No. So how am I meant to find how prevalent bandits wanted are? Sorry, adventurers wanted. I don't know how likely it is to go away without my intervention to kind of ennoble my adventurers. National unrest down seems good, but I don't want to hurt my tax any more than I already have. Encouraging unsavory folk, thieves, and vagabonds will enable us to deal with such unworldly issues with more efficiency. The more mundane side, fighting off bandits. So this is what we'd need to do to try and kick this bandit king out of this province. This mod is cool. This mod is very cool. I know I'm not exploring it rapidly, but that's okay, in my opinion. If you don't agree, who asks? So, we are Regent Court, and we currently have no deity selected. So if you want to worship Castilios, Dame, Adine, Munus, Ara, Balgar. God, there's a lot of them. I'm going to stop reading them all. Okay, legitimacy, monthly admin power. Production efficiency, idea cost, cav combat ability, settler chance, trade efficiency, construction cost, Diplo annex cost, Diplo rep and Diplo relations. Many of these are really good. These all got lore. They do. That's cool. Aligned personalities. What? Okay, what's our personality again? Let me just get... I'm going to screenshot this and put it on my other screen. Oh, sorry, I need a new notes spreadsheet. This is the Anbennar notes. Okay, let's pick a ruler, sorry, a deity that is aligned with one of our things. So we're a powerful mage. Monthly reform progress, spy network, Nerat, unrest, manpower recovery. We are a conqueror, powerful mage, scholar. So this goes with that. Movement speed and army tradition. Doesn't really fit. Architectural visionary. Industrious. No. What about this one? Righteous, just, and well advised. There must be a scholar one. Yeah. Production efficiency and idea cost. The Dame was originally the ancient goddess of the harvest. Over time became the goddess of wisdom and magic. Since the arrival of the elves, whom she rescued by leaving Munus Moonsinger to Canor. Ah, so the Dame rescued the elves and brought them over here. Interesting. Interesting. Well, it seems like we should go with her, right? Because she's a scholar. And I'm interested in learning more about the elves, both in-game and in general. Are there any others? There must be a mage-aligned one, surely. It looks like there isn't, though. Unless I'm just missing it. I don't think I am. A few Conqueror-aligned ones. I would like to get the monthly administrative power. In fact, I think I am just going to go with this, even though it's not what we're aligned. No, let's go with this in case it triggers some, like, oh, you're aligned, and then does something special. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Regent Court does not allow a defender of the faith. Okay. Good lord. Ah, interesting. Only 2 heretical beliefs. Canorian pantheon. Aren't we in Canor? Why are we following the Regent Court? The Regent Court, also known as the Canorian pantheon. Huh? Followers adhere to a specific patron deity but may worship and pay respect to others. The pantheon is organized similar to a feudal court, each deity taking on similar positions. One other question I have, and you can answer these lore questions in the chat without... Sorry, in the chat. This isn't live. In the comments without fear, by the way. I don't mind. These aren't hypothetical questions. I wonder if the gods are real. Because I always like it when fantasy worlds... I don't want to give any examples because it's spoilers, but... I like it when fantasy worlds are ambiguous or outright you end up finding out no, they're not. Because you go into learning about a fantasy world assuming that their myths are true. And it's kind of... I really like the subversion when they're just not. So the Infernal Court is, you know, Satan worshippers and stuff. And then everyone else is heathens. Interesting. It spreads all the way up to the north, though, far beyond where the... I really like that they've changed the little logos down here. I know it's probably very small on your screen, but they are all different for the regions and areas and so on. Interesting the Empire doesn't include the whole Regent Court area. It seems like that provides avenues for expansion. Other avenue for expansion, by the way, seems like this guy would be ripe for the taking because he's the right religion, but not in the Regent Court. Sorry, in the Empire of Anbennar. All right, rivals. Who do we think? Yeah, I mean... No, sorry, actually, let's look at Anbennar first. The Empire of Anbennar. 20 imperial authority. Dominant faith is religious peace. Ah, anyone can choose their religion. Don't really any faith. Interesting. I wonder if that can change. I imagine it can. So we get the default stuff, I think. Looks default to me. Okay. We are, of course, the Emperor. We are being voted for narrowly. And who is second in line? Oh, that's my logo, but they're not actually going to vote for me. Who else is a candidate? Aberan. Up here in the north. You a member of the Empire? Yeah. So reasons for voting for us. Powerful mage is plus 25, right? I remember. Legitimacy, imperial authority, a large nation, prestige. So these look default to me. We have 3 diplomats. And this is the same path as ever. I think. Yeah, CB. Okay, reform imperial government. These seem very similar, at least. Cool. And it's ticking up because of internal peace, free cities, members, and provinces outside. So very, very vanilla how that works. Okay. And then there's the decentralization path, which no one uses, presumably. Maybe there's a good reason to use it in Anbennar. Cool. And these all look very similar. Yeah. So we'll probably, I mean, long term, we'll probably start trying to work our way down that path. But we'll see. We have the 12 free cities dotted around the place. The Magisterium, that's something we probably want to improve relations with anyway, right? Oh, I am slightly missing Victoria 3 UI. Right-click there, improve relations. Although it is way too big. Oh, and it's not... Excuse my reaction. The mod's not fit for a... Not ready for a 1440p screen. I hate it. Okay, I'm going to go submod it. I think. Maybe I'll do that at the end of this episode. I can't play like this. I mean, this is absurd. I guess I didn't realize when I was on this screen. Yeah. I'm going to mod it so that this goes all the way down here. Someone on Ray already have done it, in which case I'll just use theirs, obviously. But, yeah, I should be able to do that without breaking things like it telling me that the ruler is a human. Oh, that's how I can tell. Okay, so, hey, you guys up here in the north. You human? Yeah. How about across the sea? Also human? Yeah. I'm assuming the logo will change. Doombringer. They are orcs, a resilient race that highly value individual martial prowess. Come from the Serpent Spire, where they destroyed... Sorry, Serpent Spine, where they destroyed many dwarven holds. Invaded Escan in what is known as the Green Tide. Dope. Red Scale, what are you? You are kobolds, subterranean race. Wingless and humanoid dragons. Long-lived, around 70 years. Oh, yeah. So, how long do we live? Humans are known for their ambition and exceptional drive. Doesn't say how long we're... No, I guess humans live, a normal length of time. And Lauren, you're human too, yes? Yeah. Also, number 4 in the Great Powers. Are we a Great Power? We're not. Lauren, are these people your subjects, by the way? Yes, a bunch of them are. Are they also human? Ah, you have an elvish subject. What is this? The Red Glades. An elf. They live 300 years. Wowzer. South Roy. Ah, gnome. So it's a bit more racially diverse over that side, it looks like. You're human. What about you? Sawn Coast. Also human. Any non-humans? What does that flame mean? I guess that means they're a mage. Yeah, they have the powerful mage trait. So we have that as well. Okay. Surely you're led by a powerful mage? Yeah. Corin of Vineric is an embezzler and a fertile, powerful mage. Cool. How about you down to the south? Ah, you're half-elves. Long-lived average lifespan of 100 years. Ooh, and you are gnolls. Carnivorous bestial race. Look like humanoid hyenas. Known to worship demons. Characterized by infanticizing and siblicide. Interesting. They follow the monstrous pedigree school. There is respect and they respect the demons of sorrow, ambivalent to the children of Gorksma and demon shamans. That's cool. There's different like demon pacts. That's very cool. Corvia out here, you're human? Yes. You're not in the Empire. And I think this uncolonized land, yeah, messianic features of demon kind, responsible for continent-spanning invasions. So the Green Tide, maybe this is the Green Tide. Or maybe the Green Tide is yet to arrive in this area, and it's going to have, like, frontier colonization or something. But maybe the Green Tide isn't actually a playable tag. I don't know. I don't know. I look forward to finding out. Right, so I'm going to seize land. It's not going to take anyone below 30, so we won't get any rebels, which does bring us back up to the next level of that, which is good. And we're going to be doing that on the regular. We can sell titles as well, but we're not going to do that. And coring stuff. So I am going to want to core all this. It's quite expensive. That's just the base cost of coring stuff, apparently. Yep, fair enough. So we're going to need to probably focus admin to get our new lands cored. And then we're flat broke, partly because I just took some silly decisions. Definitely don't want to be rooting out corruption. Although, sorry, yeah, we're not playing Mayo and taxes. We should be rooting out corruption. Overextension is what's causing it to go up. Okay, which obviously we'll work on. We're probably going to go to war fairly quickly, would be my guess. Can I actually core any of these yet? No. Probably going to want to go to war. Let's take a look at the mission tree. Lothain's triumph. Defeat of the Dalmarians in the Lilac Wars. We took the Imperial throne with the begrudging support of our Laurentis allies of convenience. Decide how to integrate our Dalmarian holdings quickly, whether to use the Velvet Glove, solely which surely ease them into service. Okay, so these are the Dalmarian lands, so I'm right. This is the land that used to be the Emperor of the Empire of Anbennar. So, have opinion modifier sacked Abencost, which I assume is going to fire in an event in like a day or something. And we get Restoration of Union on Estebalan. Where's that? Oh, you. Okay. So lands between our homeland and our newest conquests. We must seize a foothold before uniting our lands. Restoration of Union against them. Cool. Ripest of fruits. Plumwell. It's known for their diplomats and spy masters. We can just inherit Plumwell. As long as Plumwell's opinion of us is 200. Where is... I've seen Plumwell. Plumwall, sorry. Wait, Plumwall is a... What? Lorraine chose a diplomatic path. Lorraine chose a direct path. Okay, we get choices. If I go diplomatic, I'm going to release them as subjects. And then, if I can make them like me, I can spend 100 dip, military, and dip. Sorry, admin, military, and dip in order to inherit them. Yeah, okay. I assume. And we get an event for each. Or, we go direct path. We have to get low devastation in those regions. Removes unrest caused by direct integration, which I assume causes devastation. But we can use spells to reduce it. And then we remove it in each of the 3 areas. So the 3 areas are going to be presumably like this area, and this area. Eargate, what were the names? Plumwall is that area. Then Amoctron and Varivar. Those 3 regions. Okay, cool. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure which one of those we're going to go with. But then we get the middle path, which goes, yeah, pretty long tree. That's cool. So We get Asmaria, we get them, and then Asmari claims after seize the throne of Astalin. Didn't we just... Oh, I must have misread it. Where is this? That is these guys. We get the CB, and then we complete that, and we own all this land. Oh, then we get improved relations. Sorry, I should finish reading these things, huh? Descendants, we can insist on the right of absolute primogeniture to seize the throne of Astalin. This will give us a path towards connecting the Numerian territories, as well as a few noble allies that we can recruit directly to our court. 20% improved relations till we die. It's pretty good. Then, if we can core it, we get Heir of Sibyl. We get a bunch of improved relations again. Oh, that's till end of game. Nice. This is something I like, and I feel like Anbennar is going to let this happen. Too many mods try to be balanced. There are balanced mods, and they're great fun. Mission rewards should be till the end of the game. Almost always. Because a temporary modifier is just not satisfying. Alright, we build up an army. We get some 20-year bonuses, which, again, I just do not care about. Order to Sungbar. Torn apart by spiteful cousins. We have to complete that mission, and then it has to have had a succession war. Interesting. We get unification on them as well. Oops. Sorry, that's my alarm, which is down here. Cool. And they're in the Empire as well. It's quite violent within the Empire, this thing. Then we can build... Interesting. Wexport can be built in what is for now Dame Cross. 20% bonus. Wexport. A new port. That's a cool idea. Grand Dukes Imperial. Inform Imperial Government, and we can get some permanent claims on Damarian Dales and East Dimsar. Grand Dukes of the Borders by right. Grand Dukes of Damaria by conquest. So where is the Dimsar area? Not an area that big. Dimsar here. Region is east. Is it Dame's Head? No, Damarian Dales. Where is that? I should just search for it, shouldn't I? Damarian. Oops, sorry. Damarian Dales. Okay, Damarian Dales is here. But where are the other? Where are the other two? Damasia. Oh, so it's this island. Okay. Well, surely we don't want to turn on the Magisterium, though. That seems dangerous. Anyway, then there's loads of other stuff. But the message I'm getting is don't make friends with this guy, because you're going to get a claim on them. And same with this guy. Which is annoying, because they're both friendly. We got 3 available Diplo relations. 1 being spent on the Magisterium seems good. Backing up Corvina against the Green Tide seems prudent. Have I got a yeah, relations map mode? So you don't like me. You are an elf realm. No, yeah, we don't like elves. So if I incorporate land that has elves, it's going to have like a massive elf. Oh, these are elven minorities. Interesting. I guess because the culture is not elf, they count as a minority. And does the minority have an actual size, or is it just like, is this actually tracking pops? Or is it just, you know, there is a minority here, or there is not a minority here? Not sure. I should on pause at some point, huh? Let's cast this spell. Now we've given the Magisters enough power to bring it up to the next level. So you can cast an estate spell. These UIs are so cool. While history may be filled with the feats of legendary wizards, the daily management of kingdoms is another story. Fortunately, our mages are more than happy to lend their expertise to such vital tasks for a suitable fee. So we can... They don't have like a level of expertise, they're just kind of all round. We can do a Rite of Conception. Chance of succeeding increases if the ruler is already a powerful mage. Okay, so they can do it, and it looks like this doesn't have a chance to kill us, because they're doing the spell, maybe? Broad Ward, 8 construction, 20% construction cost down, 10 years is bonkers. That seems really good. Internal dissidents. Neighbors. Cost to fabricate games down. And lift my fog. Plant growth. Feast. The feast seems like a good idea. I'm going to do the feast, but we can't afford it right now. I was hoping one of them was just like, you know, lead to gold. But we're going to do that later. We don't want to sell titles. I know provinces lack cause. A bunch of disputed successions. Maybe we could marry our way to stuff. Can we marry you? They've rivaled us. All right, might as well counter-rival them then. We'll let the AI be a little formative on how we start off. I assume power projection is fairly normal. So we'll embargo them. And then we'll, you know, we'll insult them and all that other good stuff. Oh, I can't handle this menu being so short. Right, and we're going to make the Emperor a War Wizard. Because, like, of course. Oh my gentle Jesus. I forgot about this. Holy crap. He has the trait War Wizard, which means you get no army tradition from battles. Well, not none, minus 100%, so maybe other ways you can get some, but 10% siege ability, 10% shock damage. And he has, what even is that? How many shock is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shock. That's pretty funny. You can give your consort military command. That's cool. She sucks. We might as well. Hey, you know, 4 maneuver and doesn't cost any mill points to maintain. I'll take it. That's really funny. I forgot the War Wizards were so good. We're definitely going to need to try and take some risks to make sure our heir is a War Wizard. Because, I mean, come on. This is dope. Right. Abandon magical studies. No. Open the magical menu. Don't need to worry about that. Usurp the electors. 1 stability and a subject country is elector. We can become an elector by having a subject that's an elector. Okay, so we might subjugate the magisterium and steal their lecturehood from them and then keep them around with as a subject with high relations. And it's easier to have high relations with a subject than a non-subject. And then firearm regiments is just the same. Okay. So, oh yeah, what are our national ideas? 10% national power modifier, 10% aggressive expansion, impact down, 5% discipline. That's really good. Prestige and fort defense. I'm not going to read all of these. 10% imperial growth, 15% infantry compatibility, cost of advisor is 20%, regiment costs down, provincial trade and global trade power, and fire damage received. This seems bonkers strong. So yeah, what is the Dragon Wake? The dragons of Canor woke from their slumber, brought down wrath and ruin upon the lands of men. Gaudy tribes, hearing of the destruction wrought upon other places, took flight, displacing those who became known as the Three Tribes. Fearing enslavement at the hands of the Gwedi. So the Gwedi still up here? Are you the Gwedi? The Gward? Gerwick? Is your culture Gwedi? It is, so you displaced us from our ancient lands in the north. You are going to pay for that, son. Okay. They learned of a fortress in the south and attacked the walls and hordes from the north. Okay, so under the walls of this fortress, we fought against these guys coming south to try and kill us. And the Castilian demanded our vassalage, but then we turned on him. Nice. Wex must rule, Age of Fighting. Maybe I'll read these as we unlock them. Our ideas normal? Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Infrastructure ideas. This is a new one, right? They added it in the last 5 years. Espionage ideas is still pretty freaking good. Advisor costs down. Vassal acceptance up. Is that base game? Most importantly, 20% aggressive retention impact is bonkers. Espionage ideas used to be a meme. I really think it's pretty good now. Maritime influence. Court ideas. Okay. I think this is new. Again, I think this might be new vanilla, actually. Estate interaction cooldown modifier. We want this. This is fun. Max privileges per estate. Less useful in the mod. This is crazy good. That's like an extra privilege you can give them without downside. Yeah, we're definitely going to get that. These all look the same. Okay, I think these are the vanilla ideas. I could be wrong. There could be some in there too, but it's been a long time since I've played very much vanilla. Siege magic specifically. Interesting. Cool. Definitely going to look into that. Okay. Advisors we can't afford. So yeah, we're kind of broke. Let's take a look at trade. Oh, you can see the minorities on the map. Interesting. Ah, that one's marked as large. So I assume if we conquered Elvish land, we'd get large minorities. Why is this Nolish minority giving goods produced 10% and this one not? Ah, because this one's not large. Okay. Nolish majority. Primary. So why is it showing as a minority? Ah, because no one owns the land. I need to find an example of an oppressed Elvish minority. Integrated gives production efficiency, but higher state maintenance and more autonomy. Interesting. So even if you're properly integrated, there are downsides to having a kind of... I don't want to say racially diverse, because are they races? No, there are half-elves, right? So they are races, I guess, but rather than species. But there is also pretty big upsides. Where's an example of a mistreated elven minority? How are these guys all coexisting with elves when we're not? Which one was it under? This one. Elves are oppressed in here, right? Elf. Half elven is oppressed. Elven is oppressed, yeah. Maybe once we had them, we'd be able to make the choice. Because a coexisting minority wouldn't be so bad. I'm just thinking, do I really want to conquer this rival if there's so many elves here, basically? Anyway, other rivals. Bulasar to the south, right? They're the right religion, which should make them easier to conquer. They're not in the Empire, which makes them appealing conquest targets. They're rivals. They've rivaled us, and they're rival to this guy. Now, this guy could be a good alliance. But yeah, Bulasar, I'm going to rival you. Anyone else counter-rival us? Yeah, West Dam. West Dam is a march. And they have a junior partner over here, okay. They're human. You have a regent. March to government where sole monarch is the head of state. The monarch rules for life. Title is often hereditary. Interesting. They seem like an okay rival. We're going to be able to beat them at sea. They have 16 ships, which is more than us. Don't really want to invest heavily in this naval game. Maybe I should, actually, so I can try and do some, overseas exploration. Sure, we'll counter-rival them. And we will embargo our rivals, as is standard. Okay, I think it's time to unpause. Got some unrest. I assume we're going to get an event. Oh, and Sagumba has unlawful territory. Presumably because they aided us in the Flower Wars. Like, who has cause on this? You. And I bet you opposed us in the Flower Wars? Yes. So am I really going to say, hey, give back that land you took in the war to get me on the throne to the people that didn't support me on the throne? Seems backwards, right? But I think I am. They would say yes to it once. And we don't need these guys to like us because we're going to get the... Are they an elector? No. They're only going to say yes to one, so make it the one that borders us? Or maybe whichever one is just highest dev to try and even out these numbers. Maybe I want to keep my team wealthy, though. I don't want to make them get rid of this province because that's going to... If we get the PU, it's going to help us go south. So, sure, give up Count's Bridge. And yeah, they are very unhappy about that. That's probably a bad idea. But anyway. Yeah, most people voting for us. Aberan is one of the others, and Verna is one of the others. Okay, Verna I think would be a good ally. They sided against us in the Flower Wars. Allied to Wexand rival West Dam. Alright, then that's not looking good for your future as an ally of mine then. You could be useful to fight these guys with us. I think I will ally with them as well, just to try and... I'm worried about orcs. I've rivaled you. Not going to be able to ally you. Yeah, we have royal ties with them. I assume no one will marry me who isn't my religion. Regent course does not allow marriages of the faith groups. So you're the long-term goal for the campaign, based on my current understanding of the law, is hold back the green tide, explore the new elfish thing and the new technological advancements that may come from there, and get our revenge on whatever these guys are called, the Gwedi. Okay, all that and more in the next episode. Turns out, not an edited series. We're just going to do the whole thing. Seems fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you know much about Anbennar, please excuse my slightly irreverent and non-knowledgeable look at the game. I enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next episode, coming out probably a week from whenever this one came out. I tend to release these once a week. I should mention, because this is the start of a new series, as it turns out. I didn't know it was going to be. I thought it was going to be one video. If you want to watch the whole series all at once, you can do that by becoming a channel member. The day that this episode uploads, all other episodes will also have been uploaded. They will come out for everybody, just like normal, once a week. But if you want to watch them all ahead of time, or indeed, if I can make it work, because sometimes I struggle, you can watch a mega video of the entire series all in one video. Those are available right now to channel members. Thank you for your support. No pressure. Those of you that don't want to do that, it'll keep coming out as normal once a week, or maybe twice a week, depending on what I want to do. You'll find out when the second episode comes out. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.